Je t'ai dit que je t'ai déjà dit là. Je t'ai déjà dit là. Je t'ai déjà dit. Hot up, c'est Noël, c'est nous, et Tiren, Ishaka, Nukukemet. Shh. I hope you're doing well. Let me check the sound. Great. The title of this video is Did Garfield Reid plagiarize like Asar and Wudjau? I'm going to share the video of our brother, Smash Rockwell. Been doing some great job along with Nathan Neb, Nazar and Ka. Was to get some clarity using the text, primary source, the record, the data. This is the link of the video that I'm about to share. Now, Asar's plagiarism is well known. It's a matter of public record. Which I was plagiarism. We had a very nice discussion, and I really respect him. I really respect him. I've said many things about him before, but I must state that I respect him for coming to my channel and discussing with me respectfully for 4 hours. Because there's some other dude, I don't think, he can be respectful for 15 minutes. Eventually, he's going to raise his voice and talk to people like they are his children or something like that. But um, now Ujao, he throws a lot of shade, a lot of slick comments. He cannot help himself. People are the way they are. But besides that, the conversation was respectful. On some grown man tip. We have opposing views, but we were able to dialogue, and I love that, to be able to dialogue with people, whether I agree with them or whether I disagree with them. And this is something that um I've been doing actually for years. But some people just cannot do that. Some people cannot have a discussion with you if you don't agree with them. I mean, I'm part of a minority. Kemetic people who consider themselves Kemetic, people who follow the Kemetic way of life, people who uh, have Ma'at in a similar way that other people have different religions, whether they are Abrahamic or not. We are a minority, particularly for people of African descent, because there's a lot of uh, people of European descent that actually practice the Kemetic way of life, that actually follow Ma'at. And worldwide, it is safe to say that there's probably way more people of European descent who are familiar with the Medu Nature, with the hieroglyphic, see, than people of African descent. So I'm part of a minority, and I'm used to people not agreeing with me because I'm part of a minority. So let me share it. I mean, I really like the discussion that I had with Wujao. Really, you know, I don't mind if people want to tell me they don't like my style, they don't like my profile picture, they don't like my voice, they don't like my videos. I don't mind. If they are respectful, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So with Jao, that was a good one. I really appreciated the conversation. Really, that was a good one. So here,
Okay, so now anyone, all you got to do is just screenshot the 2 pages. You're gonna see what's happening here. This is craziness. This should be not in the. If this is allowed in the Black community, then we sold out. Like if you, I'm sorry that he taught so many of y'all Medu Neter, because that got you giving some allegiance to a dude to do this. So watch what I'm about to show you and tell me, is this a mistake? I'm gonna read J.P. Allen's, and we all know that they went over this and said this is soft plagiarism. I'm saying that is not true. Now look at this. Adjective, this is J.P. Allen I'm reading. Adjectives are words that describe qualities. First of all, it couldn't be soft plagiarism because you don't start a chapter in your book with a quote from somebody else. I'm reading J.P. Allen. Adjectives are words that describe such things as big, narrow, black, red, the value of, good, cheap. In English, it says, in English, adjectives are mostly used to modify nouns, that is, in a phrase. Now he has a lesson number. It says, that specifies what kind of noun is meant. A big house, red ink, the cheap hats. Now let's go to Wu Book. Adjectives are words that describe qualities, such as big, narrow, color, black, red, and the value, good, cheap. That's a direct lift. I mean, he didn't change nothing there. But let me show you something. The value, it says, and I got to scoot this over. It says good, cheap. Now, J.P. Allen says, in English, adjectives are mostly, and he says, are mostly, in English, adjectives are mostly used to modify nouns. He says, in English, adjectives precede the nouns in which they modify. So now the Z York is happening. This is when you taking the material, but you think you putting it into your words, but you about to mess up and prove your intellectual dishonesty. So he took the whole first line, but this is when he starts Z Yorking. Let me zoom it in. Look, y'all. You see where he switched on the English adjectives, wrote the same thing, but look at his examples. A big room. What is J.P. Allen's example? Now, this is how you know it's intellectual dishonesty. Let me show you. First, the whole first sentence is the exact same. Now, come on, let's get there. Just want to make sure you can see it. Look, I got to make it bigger now, sorry. He said, J.P. Allen says this, a big house, red ink, the cheap hats. Wudjau, being intellectually dishonest and corroborating that he's a plagiarist, used the same examples, but changed so this is what you can see him changing it. It's not a big house, it's a big room. This is Z Yorkism. It's not a big house, it's a big room. Look, it's not a red ink, it's a red dress. And it's not cheap hats, it's cheap pants. How is that soft plagiarism? What is soft about that? He did that on purpose. So he knew he was boosting the material, or whoever wrote it knew they was boosting the material. And they did like any child plagiarist would do. They ripped the first part, couldn't find no new words to reword the first part, but then they come in and change big room to big house. That's honest. That happened by mistake. You left those quotations out? You went in there, was reading one book, and was typing your book as you was reading his book. Now let me know if I'm overdoing that or y'all can see what the hell I see. The first sentence is exactly the same. You didn't alter it. You started altering it at, in English, adjectives precede the nouns, but you were so dumb you couldn't even think of your own examples. You're going to still stick with big, red, and cheap, which lets us know what your brain doing. This is like 8th grade plagiarism. You couldn't think of another descriptor that didn't match the book you were stealing from? So I'm not proving that this ain't even paraphrasing, but shout out Black Lyman, because they show hella other instances that prove that it's plagiarism. I'm only fixing on this one to show that it's done intentionally. Or else, if it was an accident and you left off the quotes, this would still say big house. Red, it would say red ink and cheap hats, like the source you were stealing from says. So when we go back to this slide, peace to Black Lion Supreme in the building. Peace to Mr. Rich Venice, I see y'all. So when you go back to this slide, we kind of see how it's kind of appropriate. That book is on The Beginner's Introduction to Meta-Nature. We already got an hour-long video by Team Osiris you can look at to discuss, to see the plagiarism. Again, and I'm not done, but I got a lot more to talk about, and I'm not going to be fixed on it like that, but just check this out. I want it to be clear that anybody, if it's anybody that don't see what's happening right here, just say so right now in the chat, and I'm going to show it more. Because I know about biters, yo. You can't just change the descriptor. Like, see, this is a biter. If I be like, see, certain people bite in a different way. This is why I hate the fact that y'all keep discrediting the fact that I've been doing this shit for a long time. Noticing plagiarizers. We just called them something different. You can discredit that all you want, but it's useful to me in identifying what you did right here. Now, let me give you a good metaphor Lil Wayne said, so we can all get it. Lil Wayne said, real G's move in silence like lasagna. That's bars. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Now, this is what I want you to get. You're biting if you say real G's move in silence like another word that has a silent G. You're biting the idea. So what's another word with a silent G? Somebody put it in the chat. I can't think of one. Come on, I'm gonna wait. Another word with a silent G. Another word with a silent G. Well, y'all get the point. And it's true. That is a form of plagiarism, but you wouldn't get charged with saying what the person said. You just switched a word, which we know you got it from the other person because we still see the idea. Yeah. Now, what if you said real G? What if I came on my album and said real G's move in silence like gnats? I wouldn't get no credit for that because the whole concept is how real G's move in silence, just like the metaphor is real G's moving in silence being equated to a silent G in a word. So now that's the category your plagiarism is falling in. And if I just only know that from personal knowledge and I can prove it to people, then that's just what happened. Real G's move in silence like minions, like lights. You feel me? So this is what you're doing here. Now I'm just asking. Hey, I'm not mad at you. You just, I ain't, nope. But I'm saying, I'm asking, how y'all call this soft plagiarism when you can see a person lifted the whole first lines, and there's so much of this in the book that goes on, it's just ridiculous. But if you lifted the whole first line, didn't change it, you might be able to tell people, oh, I forgot to put the quotation marks. But I'm showing you was reading his work, and either you arbitrarily chose big, red, and cheap, or you just got caught. Oh, shout out for Sean. He set you up. I ain't mad at him for cheerleading. You know, he used to be a moderator over here, and he ain't no more. A long time ago that happened, and he never put a comment in my chat again. Just so y'all know that. It be feelings behind feelings. That's truth. I never put out nothing that ain't truth. So if you didn't know, he lost his wrench over here one day. It might let you know why he was going so ham in the chat yesterday. See? Does that reveal anything? Yeah, see? So I know he gonna always have a disgruntled position against anything I say because he never commented in my chat after he lost his wrench. But on a day when he did lose his wrench, he switched accounts and went to another account and came and said something. So that's how I really know he was affected, because he didn't want nobody to see that any Heret didn't have a wrench in this room no more. So, when you read the real shit and you read the back of the book, you get to see why shit happening. I'm not mad at Sean. Never been mad at Sean. We used to study the stock market together. He just chose sides, and that's what happened. But y'all didn't know that, did y'all? So when you see him doing that, that's what's the backdrop to that. Because he ain't got no explanation for this. See, it'd be easy to show how something's going on real quick. So anything from the video that y'all thought got refuted, put it on the air. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Anything that got refuted, they was doing pseudo-ship. They was doing everything that we addressed. Nothing got refuted. That's why I was like, man, that's cold. Because you got to stick with the overall conversation we're trying to have. Whether Kemetiyu was there. So Wudjau admitted, the question is, did Wudjau call this soft plagiarism? I just asked him live the other day. You already admitted that it was what was called soft plagiarism. I'm saying it ain't soft shit. It was done by a soft person, but it ain't soft plagiarism. He's soft, but it ain't soft plagiarism. It ain't. It's hard plagiarism. How could you, what type of teacher is going to see what I just seen and let you do something? But that, I mean, again, all of the breakdown is done by Team Osiris on a wonderful video I wish I would have viewed a long time ago. I just wanted to point out this one instance that prove it ain't soft. I mean, and if you want to know, this is on page 75 of J.P. Allen's work, where you can see out of all the attestations they did, and they was pointing this stuff out again, but I wasn't thorough on that. So, I went through their video to see if they had discussed the section with a different other sections, and I hadn't finished watching that video, Team Osiris, but I seen what I had to see. So when it comes to this big house, this red ink and the cheap hats, and then you go back to Wudjau book, and you got, after he ripped the whole line and then he start freestyling or thesaurusing up right here, then big room, he changed from this is the evidence. This happened by a human. It didn't happen by hapstance or chance. These words got changed by a human. All right. And that's when you don't be wanting to be on the internet talking about character all the time. Like a passive demeanor is the best character. That's easy. So I'm asking the chat, and I know we always got to assess you in the bushes. What got refuted that you need to hear me answer to? Because I can tell you what they didn't answer to. And I can tell you, I can't even tell you that. I'm thinking they didn't.
So peace to Jeremiah D and peace to Chris MVP Harris. I hope you're doing well. So just for the record, I wanted to know if soft plagiarism was a term used in academia. So I'm going to quote from Bowdoin. I'm not sure if that's the way you pronounce it. Bowdoin College. Now on Wikipedia, see, when you go to rankings, it says in the 2021 edition of the U.S. News and World Report rankings, Baldwin was ranked tied for sixth best overall among liberal arts colleges in the United States, tied at 11th for best undergraduate teaching, 12 in best value schools, and tied at 29th for most innovative. In the 2019 Forbes college rankings, Bowden was ranked 26th overall among my bad 650 universities, liberal arts colleges, and service academies, and sixth among private liberal arts college. Bowdoin College is accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Education. It appears to be a legit institution. Am I sharing this page? Yes, I am. So now I'm going to show you what I did. Very simple. I just typed in soft plagiarism on the world's most popular search engine. And I was looking for a university. And what came up? .edu, that one. So we have the common types of plagiarism. There are different types of plagiarism, and all are serious violations of academic honesty. We have defined the most common types below and have provided links to examples. So those are the most common types. That's not all the types. Maybe some people have lists of plagiarism, and there's like 57 types, and maybe soft plagiarism comes like number 52. But hey, plagiarism. Direct plagiarism is the word for word transcription of a section of someone else's work without attribution and without quotation marks. The deliberate plagiarism of someone else's work is unethical, academically dishonest, and grounds for disciplinary actions, including expulsions. See examples. Um, okay, no, I don't want this to be too long. Self plagiarism occurs when a student submits his or her own previous work or mixes parts of previous works without permission from all professors involved. Then we have mosaic plagiarism. It occurs when a student borrows phrases from a source without using quotation marks and finds synonyms for the author's language while keeping the same general structure and meaning of the original, sometimes called patch writing. This kind of paraphrasing, whether intentional or not, is academically dishonest and punishable, even if you footnote your source. Now, he did not footnote his source. Anyway, and then we have accidental plagiarism. So Mm, it is between direct plagiarism and mosaic plagiarism. So that's about it. Now, what was written in the chat here? Um, Jeremiah wrote, "No way, that was soft plagiarism." Well, first we need to establish if that is something that actually exists. If soft plagiarism is some, have you ever heard that before? It was the first time I heard that in my life. The fact that and if it exists, then please direct me to a creditable, I'm sorry, a credible website that actually talks about this. The fact that he specifically only changed around a few words but stays around the same ballpark ID shows the intent to plagiarize while trying to hide it. Yes, the intent is clear. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to dispute that. You know, those riparian knights, I don't even think they're going to try that. You know, and it's funny, it comes from some people who's been really disrespectful and condescending towards people who disagree with the RIP Aryanites claim. But you know, so Chris wrote, "It's time you show your expertise, bro." I don't know what the brother means, but hey. So before I deal with Garfield's book, and if you know plagiarism from Garfield's book, then feel free to let us know. I'm wondering, I'm not accusing. I've heard several people state that there was plagiarism in his book. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. What's up, Chris Harris? Feel free, brother.
Hey,
What?
what's up, what's up? Hey, no, I was talking about little brother Jeremiah, African in chat because he understands linguistics. Just to clear up my comment, he understands linguistics because he goes to school for such things. So I
Oh.
was just, I was speaking to him in the chat, saying it's time he started showing his knowledge in linguistics.
But Jeremiah, didn't you come once on the panel? I think he came.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think yeah, I think he came when we were talking about, if I'm not mistaken, when we were talking about like African Americans and Africans, you know what they think. Yeah. It was after Reggie told Sekou, you talk to your people, I talk to my people. So, but he will confirm if it was him who came on that day. But Jeremiah, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I don't, I would like to ask you actually about some statement made by someone who claims to be a linguist, and just to have your opinion since you are studying it formally, you know. So if you have a little bit of time, then feel free to holler at us. Chris, let me ask you, brother Chris, have you ever heard as
Sure.
well some people saying that Garfield's book was plagiarized, that there's some plagiarism in his book? Have you ever heard that before?
Well, I heard that there were some mistakes made in his book that could lead to plagiarism. I haven't read his book. I'm not interested in reading his book or anything written by Garfield or any of these pseudo motherfuckers in this community, to tell you the truth, because all of them be lying. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Smash Rockwell. I mean, they be lying. Whenever you don't put your commas and your quotations in the correct order, that could lead to plagiarism. So what I have been hearing, honestly, is that he could have. I'm not going to confirm nor deny, and I'm definitely not gapping for Garfield can't read. But I'm just sitting up there saying that no, yes, it can lead to plagiarism. So, but I do
Mm.
know Wudjau, he did plagiarize book.
Yeah, we've seen it. Smash has shown that, and before that,
I know
Team
that for
Osiris, your former crew, they shown that
yeah,
as well, and
yeah,
they also show they have also shown Asar's plagiarism, which was way more prolific, you know.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know,
I wouldn't buy two books from a dollar bin with those two names on there. The fact that he said that Hebrew, Yoruba language was connected to the Hebrew language, I'm like, he's so full of shit. I can't take those guys serious no more, man. Like,
you,
I just
you
can't
know,
take this community serious anymore. Like,
just in case people don't know what you're talking about, they're gonna hear it for the horse's mouth. Hold on, though. It is cognate. Where is it? It is there. It is.
clip them up.
Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
But there's a new fashion thing now. Is for people to say, "Oh, that's out of context." So now I'm saying, "Well, please play it in context." You know what I'm saying? But
Because he said,
uh,
but he said it was cognate with it.
yeah.
Like, there's no way around that. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Because
I
there's no
mean,
such thing as a Hebrew language. It's Aramaic.
oh
It's
no, but no,
Aramaic,
no,
and it
no.
comes from the East.
No, but even in presuming that's a language, I mean, officially, like in linguistics, it is recognized as a language. The issue is that they are not cognate. And as a matter of fact, Ned and Neb, who is also studying linguistics formally, has told us that there's no such thing as languages being cognate. So, but even if there was such thing as languages being cognates, um, that wouldn't be the case anyway. But we can always ask
Yeah,
people in the field.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Chris, like.
He like I said, it's just a bunch of full of shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 it's all good. And like I took that excerpt from your live stream when you were telling Garfield, that he doesn't. Wait, hold on, because this girl here, she's such a troublemaker. Hold on, you're right back. Hold on.
You took an S script.
Yeah, you when you said that Garfield doesn't have a bachelor's degree, that you capped for him before, but you're not gonna cap for him again. So um
Yeah, see, I was trying to keep the peace because he was just caught. He was caught out there, and I was just all like, maybe I shouldn't have did that. But the bottom line is like, nah, I don't believe you did because if you like, I have a master's degree in engineering, right? If anybody has
mhm.
said tells me, hey man, can you show your master's degree? And I'm arguing amongst engineers, I have to show my master's degree to show that I'm degreed and I'm qualified to speak in the form that I'm speaking in, right? If you're going
Mhm.
to speak as a historian with a bachelor's degree in history, then you have to show it to shut, and you can shut everybody down. It's just that simple.
I
You
I
know,
I, I agree with you
Garfield know what
because
he did.
yeah. What did he do?
Well, I tried to come on there and correct. They were on there talking about Jesus existing, and they was using all these books to try and prove Richard Carey to prove Jesus existed. And he says, "No, I'm not going to let Chris on the panel. I want to keep it peaceful." And I said, "What do you mean peaceful? I'm the one that always try to promote a peaceful scholastic conversation." So
Mhm.
ever since then, it's just been like, you know what, man, fuck Garfield Reid. Because here's the bottom line: you trying to push Jesus and Christianity on our people, but then you talk about brothers who study Kemet and anything, any African based cosmology. That's weird to me, man. That's
Mm.
weird. That's
And and
real weird to me.
and,
And it
and
shows he has an agenda.
to me, it has an agenda. And I remember during that same last stream when you said, uh, Christianity is all good with him. Any traditional African way of life, he's banging on it, disrespecting it, and I think that's crazy. Why would just Christianity be okay for someone that claims that he is not a Christian, even though he screamed out Jesus? But I mean, it's just fishy. It's just fishy, And for him to tell people, I don't know if you remember that time period, but I remember when he was like, well, I didn't know though that he had gone on Doggy Diamonds. I knew about Doggy Diamonds for a long time actually, but I presume that's when he went there that people were like, pressing him, challenging him to show and prove his claim of him having a bachelor's in history. And he was telling people, if you send me so much money, and I forgot the amount of money, but he was telling people, if you send me so much amount of money, I will show you my degree. And I was like, that's fishy as heck. I never heard that in my life before, you know. So I think that we will get some clarity somehow, some way, at some point, because I think that with the quickness that he sent you his uh image of his alleged degree, which uh, strangely was not the same field and not the same name that Chef has told us he has seen. he might have done that with some other people. So eventually, I think one day some other people are gonna say, "Well, okay, this is what he sent to me, and this is even if he doesn't." I mean, even the name thing, like he talked about his middle name. Like, I mean, what is there to hide? You're a public figure. You have a book in your name, but I don't think there's any point trying to find some logic in what he says. But at least the field, the alleged field, and the date, because then it becomes something that can be verified simply by contacting the institution where he supposedly got his degree from. So, and then maybe oh, the brother's gone. Um, maybe we'll find out why he's just hiding his middle name or whatever that is. For what reason that is, I think we'll find out somehow, some way. But everybody's free to join the live stream. What I want to share just before I deal with his book and what people have said about his book, besides what many people have said in several different live streams, but we will see some written statements about accusations of plagiarism. I want to play this little part because I thought it was a bit funny, so let me share again. It's from the same video. I've given you the link. The timestamp is going to be 4:55:39. Let's say so. 4:55. 4:55. That's 30. Okay, 4:55:33. Let's listen up.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this out soon. So thank
All
you,
right,
good
well,
brother Reggie.
I
Who's
would like
next?
to, I'd like to
Coma
point some.
go ahead. Go ahead, Coma.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say for my part, from years of watching them brothers, Asar and Wudjau, them is two of the sharpest brothers as be doing this Medunecha thing and this whole Afro conscious
That's a lie. That's a
information, right?
motherfucking lie.
Reggie, mute now,
That's a
man.
mother.
Mute.
Who are
Reggie,
you? How do you
Reggie,
know? What's
mute.
your skill set? What's
Easy
your
now,
skill
easy,
set?
easy,
What's your
easy,
skill
easy.
set? Wait, hold
Hold
up. Do
on,
you know Metanecha? Do you know Metanecha?
hold on, hold on, hold
Do
on.
you know Metanecha?
Hey, Smash, I can get my last comments.
I
or
said,
what
I
you
said,
gonna
I
do
said,
now?
no, I said the
That's the
belt,
shit I'm talking
no
about. If you
referee.
don't
The
know
last 10
Metanecha,
minutes, you
who's
got to
your
fight. You in
Metanecha
the
teacher?
ring. Go ahead.
Who's your Metanecha teacher?
Listen. I've heard
No,
you
no,
say
no.
many.
I'm asking
No,
you a
hold on. All
motherfucking
right.
question. Who's your
All right, you
Metanecha
ain't got to
teacher?
cuss him then.
When
I mean,
when
you're getting too
yeah,
hot. Calm down.
For your information, I saw the part where he started screaming, "That's a lie! That's an MF lie!" And then I paused it. I was like, "Okay, I'm going to discover it, in real time." Um, I've listened to most of the live stream by Smash Rockwell, and then I kind of skipped a bit towards the end, and I reached that part. So everything that we're hearing from now on, and even like a few seconds previously, I'm discovering it with you, So let's see how it ends.
Oh, good
I
brother.
ready to respond. I ready to respond
Who
as soon as
is
you
your
calm down.
Metanecha teacher?
Hold on. I've quoted Brother Reggie say many times how Wudjau is more proficient in Medunecha than himself. So I don't know why he's trying to fool himself now
Well,
and pretend
I'm
like
saying he is, but
all right.
that's
So what you
only in the
talking about?
Metanecha.
So what
He
you
is
talking about now?
ahistorical.
All
No,
right.
he's
Well, I'm telling you that these
ahistorical.
men and them sharp.
He's
From my
ahistorical.
as a person in the audience, right? And from what I could decipher,
But I'm asking
these
you, for you to
brothers
be able to call somebody sharp,
is illustrious
for you
teachers
to be
and they're
able to
very
call
sharp.
somebody sharp, to say
You
they're
you
the smartest
you
people.
hey,
What
I
is-
sorry the man.
What is your skill
I
set?
sorry
Man,
yeah,
all I
I
know,
sorry the man
all I
this year
know,
and you vex
we
about
probably
it.
won't get
The
too far
man
like
this year and you
this.
vex about it, but
But
I hear you and all
No, I'm just
confess.
asking you a
sharp,
question.
you should. They are sharp, bro, but they're not right.
But
You feel me?
all
They're not
right, well,
correct. He
what I'm
just said
saying
they
is,
sharp. He didn't say they was right.
I just
Yes.
saying they're sharp and very intelligent. You know what I mean? So it don't really come across good because one set of people trying to talk one set of thing about them. They might have shortcomings and whatnot, you know. But
Let
that's
me
all I
say
had to
something
say.
though. I hate when I have to keep injecting shit that don't matter to people about battle rap. But I don't battle no weak motherfuckers. That make you look weak. So if I sit here and tell the whole audience my opponents is trash and not, then it make it look like, well, why you arguing with them? The elders used to say, if you willing to argue with a fool, two people ain't gonna know the difference. So in him saying them sharp, I heard, oh, yeah, they can't get past Magi and they sharp. Now that's how I take that. So good.
So let me ask.
All right. So the brother, the Caribbean accent, actually said at one point that they are illustrious teachers, and it's amazing how sometimes you have the saying only in America. I don't know if I should say some things happen only in the conscious community or only amongst black folks or only amongst, well, I will leave it there, but we have a couple of guys who have clearly plagiarized and they are labeled as illustrious teachers. It is noteworthy. In other communities, people who plagiarize are academically excommunicated. Some people might say this is oxymoron. It's an oxymoron because excommunicated is like the religious thing, but they are no longer, they are rejected from academia. They are not valued. At least I haven't heard it for myself, but it has been stated that Wudjau has admitted to his plagiarism, and he came up with the term, soft plagiarism. And when I say he came up with it, once again, maybe that term existed. I wasn't aware of it, but he has admitted to it. And I even heard that he apologized for it. It might be costly to do a new edition, and some people say that it's not the only case of plagiarism, which means that not only that part that would need to be changed. So if there are so many parts that are plagiarized, then eventually, if you want to do a revised edition without the plagiarism, you might have so many pages less. You might have like 200 pages left, less than the initial work. So, but at least he has owned up to it. I don't recall Asar Fake owning up to his plagiarism because he has plagiarized more. Uh, and it wasn't just one book, it was several books, so that's the nuance between the two. Now let's deal with Garfield's book. So it was released a year ago. Now the book of the Riparianites was released when was it released? Was it 2018? um the title is very similar to an article by Alessandra Nibi, so it's easy for me to remember the title, you know 2019. Actually, I will show it because some people, might think that I'm gonna show it so you can see the difference. So that's the book of the Riparianites. Okay, so was released 3 years ago. It has 11 ratings. And last time I checked, it had four comments or reviews. So one, two, three, four. Yeah, it still has four. Now, if we look at Matthew Garfield's book, Adult Garfield, his book was released just 1 year ago and it has 77 ratings, which means that he has sold at least 77. Well, at least 77 copies were purchased because he might have bought 50 copies to, give them around, so people can read and review. So he might have sold about 20 copies, So he's doing better than three individuals. So that's a good thing for him. And he doesn't have just four reviews. He has, do they say the full amount of reviews? Says see all 40 reviews. All right. So here you have the top positive review and the top critical review. You know what I'm going to do before I go to the top critical review? I'm going to read a few positive reviews. So this way, it's not going to be in his feelings, like he only read the negative reviews, blah, blah, blah. So we have Safa Rabba Muhammad wrote thought provoking. This book requires a reader to apply their thinking cap and approach the content with an open and analytical mind. This book encourages the reader to reassess the way you view the characters and stories of the Bible. If you are a staunch believer in any of the Abrahamic faiths, plural, I strongly suggest you digest this book in small bites and be willing to see beyond your beliefs. We have Paul Gray, who wrote this book is the best I've read on the Bible in the black community. It's so funny. I mean, a book in the black community, but it's freedom of speech. I like the comparative studies shown in most chapters with the stories have no borders section. This brother is smart. Instead of saying cultures copied one another, he basically made up his own way of explaining syncretism. This book is for all believers of the Abrahamic faith. No Exodus, no religion was an excellent chapter. This chapter alone will open your eyes to archaeological evidence and historical evidence regarding the Bible Exodus story. Passover and its origins taught me things I never knew before. Elephantine papyri. Wow. Chapter by chapter, this book has taught me so much I never knew before. What I did not like, I would say absolutely nothing. The sources are there. The brother has done some excellent research. I have nothing but honor and praise for this writer. And let's do a third one. So people are not going to say, oh, he's a hater. He's hating. W. Robinson wrote An Awakening, an excellent read. Most Hebrew Israelites will not agree with the contents because it goes against their religious agenda, but like all other Bible believers, they are afraid of historical truth. This book explains the misconception of the Bible in full details, and I would recommend this book as a study guide to truth and to understand where these ideologies derive from. So, okay, now let's go to the top critical reviews. We have Mark, and I might need to make it larger actually because it appears very small here. So, okay, that looks better here. We have Mark, Dear Love, that's the name. Do not buy this book. Warning, plagiarism. This book was the worst book I've ever read. The book has several grammar errors, blatant misuse of sources, and simply put, it was not worth $30. The book also contains several plagiarized passages in the first chapter. Mika Yasharallah wrote, Guerrilla Hebrew already destroyed this on Sinetta. Go watch the debate. Garfield is delusional. I don't know what probably Garfield Reid, and I don't know what LS stands for. Oh, well, maybe that's Gorilla Hebrew or something like that because he says destroyed him on the debate. Yeah, so it's probably Gorilla Hebrew. Well, Gorilla, I guess it stands for Gorilla. Gorilla destroyed him on the debate on Sinetta already. Then we have someone who wished to remain anonymous. So it says Amazon customer, very ignorant, a lot of reaching, a lot Venn diagrams of nonsense, historical pseudo research, what a waste of time. Lamont Rowe wrote, don't buy. He doesn't believe in the Bible narrative. Uzziah Yehuda wrote, poor resources. Yawasap wrote, misinformation of Garfield, the pseudo scholar. For 4 years of writing this book was horrible. Plagiarism, bad grammar, and complete pseudo and bias info. Waste of money and time. Garfield, please realize what you did to yourself and how you are going to be debunked in every aspect of life. James W. Hall wrote Bad Scholarship. The book is not creditable and most of his sources have been debunked. This book is a joke. Metatron 33 wrote blatant garbage, a hodgepodge of misinformation and plagiarism. Somebody help this author and give him the name of a decent editor. Check in my damn head. Don't waste your time. Jay Good wrote, do not buy this book. This book was the worst book I've ever read, period. Truth Seeker wrote, this book is rubbish. I wouldn't even pay $1 for this plagiarized book. Next page, there's some more. This person wrote, okay, never mind. So, as you have seen, we have several people who have stated, claimed that there is some plagiarism. And I have heard a few people say during live streams that it was plagiarized. So, what I would like you to do, if you are aware of the passages of the books or any literature, articles, um, any material whatsoever, any data whatsoever, no matter the shape, the form, that was plagiarized, then feel free to let us know either right now if you can or later on by leaving some comments. And brothers and sisters, I want to remind you that whenever you see new videos, it will be good for you to just make sure that you hit that like button and that you leave a comment. No matter what you type, it helps with the algorithm. It's time to have those reflexes because I'm not plagiarizing. I'm not charging people for stolen work, publication with stolen material or stolen intellectual property. Some people like that. They feel like it is some that it is illustrious, and hey, to each his own. I don't feel that way. So if at least you can do that, just like the donation. Oh, as a matter of fact, what was the name? I received a donation by let's say Gab. I'm sorry, Gab. Gab, thank you very much. I've received the cash app. I appreciate that. I really do. So for those who want to support, you do have the paypal.me/Ma'at Forever. You have the cash app, which is $ Ma'at Forever, all in one word. You see. And after the live streams, there's still a possibility to make some donation because during the live stream you have the super chat and or the super sticker. But even after, and I'm going to show for people who don't know, there it is. Oh, it must be. I guess the stream must be finished before it appears then. So I will go to the last video then. There it is. How come I don't see it then? All right. So maybe it's because I am. Okay. Anyway, how big is it? Now you see on the right you have this button, and then you have thanks. So that's how you can make a contribution of your choice. But maybe on your end you will have the button. The button will appear, and you will not need to hit that button there. So now let's use this opportunity. If some people want to holler, say hello, express their agreement or disagreement, then feel free. I don't mind. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play a little some, get something to drink, and then come back. I wouldn't mind hearing from somebody. Just so we can close this out. Um, if there's no participation, I would like to close it, and maybe that's going to be a new habit to close out with a caller. So which one will I play? Which one will I play? Which one will I play? I'll play this one. What I'm saying? Not everybody has to be comedic. It's a matter of choice.
Hey, I want to jump in right here.
Yeah, feel free, brother.
Okay, I want to jump in and just say something about you, Shaka, that I noticed, and I'm quite sure everybody else noticed it too. The way that they kind of bounce off of you. That's a good way to put it. Almost kind of shy away. Want to keep you quiet to a certain degree, especially after you told me about, well, not just me, all of us, of listening to you, how maybe they had you in the back, you know, waiting for 40 minutes before you can make a comment, putting you off certain people's stages where they have their show, putting you off 2 and 3 times. I heard that said. That tells me something about an individual, and that'll make me take notice of them anyway and examine them to see what is it about them that they don't want to be bothered with. There's some stuff went on last night on Smash Show, and it's the dude called Waza. I'm quite sure they know him better than me, but Waza, he's kind of a comical fella, and but he got some smarts to him, but he don't know when to make his comment and then step back and wait, and just listen some for a while. He wants to get in there and just rough and tough it out and don't want to listen to somebody else. And that I'm not saying you that way now, but I was just looking at Waza last night, and they had to put him in the back or just put him off the show or whatever, because he just kept jumping in there too much, and people would be trying to talk and he just interject and walk all on people and just get in the conversation and maybe even be talking about something else instead of what the subject was. But back to you, Shaka. You're similar to Waza to a certain degree, and I think we all have to have some aggressiveness to us. We have to be aggressive when the time is right. Don't get me wrong. But it's time, at certain times, we have to be humble and we have to stand back and listen. And like I do, and I've always been that way. When you see somebody quiet, this is something I learned over the years. When you see them quiet, they're either just out the loop completely, or they are a type of individual trying to see what's going on. And that's how I am. I do, and I can speak when the time is right, especially when I feel like it's necessary. And especially at my time and age now, I'm more the type to keep you in line or maybe keep you directed right. And I think that's the elders' job. Of course, you know, the elders should have more intelligent and just more knowledge on things than the youngsters coming up, because I used to have them tell me back in the day, man, where you going already? And I'm been there. You know, I used to think about that until I figured it out. And you know, and these elders, you know, they've been through stuff that you're getting ready to go through. And I don't know about all of the knowledge that you got, Shaka, but you ain't just talking the talk. You talking something that makes sense if it's talking about a subject or an individual that might be, like you say, buck dancing or, you know, backing up, trying to two-step or sidestep or however anybody that understands this want to see it. You'll bring it right out to light. And that's a good thing, especially when you teaching the people wrong and you're not bringing them the truth. All this, you know, dancing around in circles and stuff, you know, you can't get a hold and a grip on things when you got people doing that. And when it's somebody doing that, you have to bring them to the forefront and say, you know, you got to confront them. Hey, man, you know, this is what you're doing right here. It's a little something that's right, because you were saying this the other day, and now you're saying something a little different. You know, what's really going on here? What's the real truth? And I just wanted to say Shaka is the one that'll, you know, bring that to the forefront. And I think that's a good thing about you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like that. Pan Americans like that too. And that's how I was brought up.
Yeah, but, when you look at that my forever on this right here, he mean that. now I'm getting it, because man, it's my forever. He's talking about for a little bit, forever. You got to. I know. I mean, that's the black. I mean, what we put together. You got to stand on truth, righteous, justice, and all of that. And that's what it seems like the brother. With the, I don't know if that's
how he bring it. That's how he bring it.
I mean, so it's true to form for real. I know appreciate it too. You know, that's why I came. I'm like, yeah, it don't seem. He seemed like he's saying basically what I'm trying to say, but you know, I can't talk to myself. But to have somebody of like mind, like I said, even all three of us, and me and many of us on the same page. Some people are just afraid to come out and speak. You know what I'm saying? So what Shaka's doing is spearheading what he's saying, even though we ain't going to agree on everything, what he's saying for the most part is 100%, 99%.
And that's a good thing about Shaka, especially when you're coming in truth now, Shaka. And the thing is, I was like that all my life coming up, and you know, it's kind of a quiet world when you're like that, because most people, they kind of shun you. They stay away from you because, you know, they want you to tell them what they want to hear, or the stuff that's going to make them feel good. But when you tell them like it is and you confront them face to face, you know, they don't want too much to do with you then. You know, they want to stay away from you, and they'll even sometimes say some jive time or wrong stuff about you. And it'll make other people talk bad about you, not really truly knowing the truth, but, you know, putting you in a little corner by yourself and making your world be lonely to a certain degree. It's going to be some people out there, just like me and Pan American is right now, about how you handle things, Shaka. We don't mind coming on talking, and I'm always in the chat listening most of the time, but I will say things too. But we don't mind coming and talking with you because we're very similar. And the people that can't stand the truth, they're going to stay away from you, man, and they're gonna run from you, you know, and really kind of, you know, make you look bad and talk about you and bring you down if they can too. But like I said, I came up like that all my life. But the main thing you got to do, and this is all I can tell you, is you got to stand your ground and you got to stay firm. Long as you know you're doing what's right, brother, you got to do that and continue to do it no matter how bad it is, or sometimes how it hurts. And I know a lot of it hurts sometimes. But if you love your people and you love what you're doing, just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
And that right there was some global. That was global African wisdom. I mean, that was some wise words. I mean, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, when you started, I thought you were gonna like tell me, sometimes Shaka, you shouldn't really wear feathers, and but and we have very few elders who say stuff like that. They rather say, try to amend, try to, try to make try to
Try to
reconcile,
get
and I'm like,
along. Yeah.
yeah, but sometimes confrontation is inevitable, and we're really supposed to confront the ideas, not individuals. I mean, there's some things that I've said in response to what they've done, which was total disrespect. A moderator invited me to come on the platform. I went on the platform, and because someone wouldn't talk to me, I waited. And when I was waiting, I did not even realize I was waiting that long. It's after, then I made my response, and I just counted the minutes because I was like, I'm gonna get a chance to speak anyway. And then when I get on, I'm being kicked out 3 times, and the other dude. And also, when it just happened, and I left because the girl's like, "Yeah, you're crying like a girl. We all grown, man. You have no discipline." First, I left. I was like, you know what? Just not gonna address those guys anymore and keep it pushing. But then I was like, yo, they done that on purpose, man. That's a group effort. I'm like, oh, it's like that now. Okay, But and like I said before, in my response, I've said some harsh things. I tried not to use profanity. I'm not proud of the video, but I'm not ashamed of the video because don't start none, won't be none. You know what I'm saying?
In other words, you got fight in you. You got some fight just like they got.
Malcolm didn't know what he was playing with. No, he didn't. He didn't know what he was playing with. You don't jump up against a divine messenger of God like he did. He asked to die. And God obliged him. No, you don't understand. Like someone said, did you Muslims kill Malcolm? So the messenger said, and what if we did? He said, what if we did? Have you ever seen a leader scandalized like Malcolm scandalized Muhammad? Have you ever heard of anything like that? Don't you know if you scandalize a man who's loved and honored by the people, what are you asking for? You're asking for death. And he got what he asked for. And those who killed him, they weren't sneaking behind no damn counter. They came in the place where the man was preaching and killed him in front of his own followers. That's fearless men. And those who were there to guard him, they were ducking. Damn cowardly dogs. Ducking and running under poles instead of trying to protect the man. And you say it's your leader? You damn punk, you don't have no leader. If he's your leader, why the hell would you stand up for him? Now all of a sudden they can serve you a dead man on a platter. And you eat him up as your leader, not knowing nothing about him while he was alive and know less about him now that he's dead. Malcolm's momentum carried him to his death.
Yeah, I love Elijah Muhammad enough that if you attack him, I would kill you. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I'm not a killer, but neither are you. But if somebody attack what you love, each one of you in here would become a killer instantaneously. Am I lying? Mother, let somebody look like they're attacking your child. Here's a woman who fought a bear because the bear snatched her baby. And she ran the bear down, screaming until the bear dropped her baby. Love casts out fear. We don't give a damn about no white man law when you attack what we love. And frankly, it ain't none of your business. What have you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor or was he ours? And if we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours? You just shut your mouth and stay out of it. Because in the future, we're going to become a nation. And the nation got to be able to deal with traitors and cutthroats and turncoats. The white man deals with his. The Jews deal with theirs. Salman Rushdie wrote a nasty thing about the prophet, and Imam Khomeini put out a death thing on him, and it stands today.
It will be. It will be a book. Wrote Kemet God. If you want to get authentic
Come on, go ahead.
about blacks, conquering blacks, throw Maya in the trash can, throw out this rock, the slave making God away. Our children are being kidnapped by ideology other than Islam, gangs, Afrocentricity, or the so-called culture of hip-hop. We're losing our children to all of these other ideologies.
Hotep sent E-Radio 1. Feel free to speak, brother. Thank you for calling in. Oh, I don't hear you. What's going on? You must come from me. Can you hear me, brother? I don't hear you. Let me check the stream, if it's my end or if it's the same on YouTube. So, okay, there's an advert. It's going to take 5 seconds.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, now I can hear you. Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay. Yeah. I had to replug my microphone. So. Yes, peace, brother. Peace. Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, loud and clear, brother.
Great. Yes. Yes, man. That was a pretty interesting bill we had last time with
Wudjau.
Yeah. And you notice there's a reason I did that, man. When I came on and I showed that text to see if he can translate it. Yeah, because yeah, man, because you know, a lot of these guys like Garfield, you know, and even did you see the sister on your platform on the message of Cartoon Cat?
Yes.
See, like she listens to Garfield. You know, she's as a matter of fact, that's where she first popped up on the scene, is on Garfield channel. And she wanted me to come on her channel, and you know, because she disagrees with me when I show that text. And I try to tell her, I was like, hey, you know, and she tried to bash bash the Greek language. Yeah, and
why is she trying to bash the Greek language?
Yeah, because I see this a lot in the community. Okay, people saying, well, the hell with the Greek. They got a hate for the Greek language, but yet they're using words coming from the Greek language. So
Indeed.
So I'm telling her, like, hey, if you don't like the Greek language, stop using the word Ethiopian, Egypt. Okay, just stop. Don't entertain it if you don't like it.
Yeah,
Because
they should stop using the word lemon. It comes from the Greek lemoni. I mean, there's so many words. It's like they don't have a clue. They have no idea.
Yeah, man. And it's like they like they're very uneducated. They go off emotion and they just want to have it. They just want to have it their way. And I know for a fact that Garfield do not speak the Greek language, but yet he's trying to make it seem like as if he's an authority on who the Ethiopians are. So when he say that we are not the Ethiopians, he's that has nothing to do with what the ancient Greek historians have said. It's Garfield saying it. That's according to him. It's not according to the ancient text. And I'm trying to tell the sister I went on her platform, but I'm not going back on her platform no more because she every time she does a live stream, her live stream is gone and disappears the next day.
Yeah, because it wasn't convenient. She didn't look good, so.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah. People like that are crazy, man. So I don't.
But Garfield did that. He removed at least 2 live streams.
Oh man.
I forgot if I participated in both, but I participated in one of them. But I mean, they have the right to remove their live stream. But indeed, if you go on a platform and you have a discussion, you bring out some facts, you quote some text, some authors, and then only for the next day to be removed, you'd be like, oh, I did all of this for nothing. So yeah, indeed, it's not worth it.
Yeah. And like the only time I made a mistake and did it when I erased when I deleted one of my live streams, is one of the live streams I did on Garfield. Because and the reason I did that was because I didn't want to make him feel like he was important. Because
I remember. Important. Yes, it's the one. It's the one when you criticize him, and I remember I heard that one. I heard that one.
Yeah. So it was like it was real brief. It really wasn't wasn't much to it, but
brother, the funny thing is that video you're talking about, that was probably like 2 years ago, if not 3. Shh. I'm sorry, my daughter is just being wild, and it's usually the same tactic. That's why sometimes I'm like, I don't know if the debate with Chibaru will happen, but if that guy debates anybody in a proper setting with a moderator, and sometimes he will have discussion on some live stream, and he will still just talk when it's not his time, and be like go a little bit wild. But if he's on a stage and there's a microphone, he can go wild. We will not hear him much, but we will see him being animated, and he's not gonna have a mute button because that's his number one thing, but I guess he's being gassed up, by the Abrahamic believers. But if he ever gets to debate, that's one thing he has never done anyway, to debate outside of a live stream platform. But if he's on a live stream channel having a debate where he will not have any way to interject when it's not his time, then he will already feel the pain because that has never happened. So he will have eventually his reality check. But that's if that ever happens, because I think he's very comfortable on his channel with like his 7, 8 soldiers to help him out when he is in need, when he's in trouble, But it's on him, it's on him, But he we'll see.
Yes, indeed. And that's why that was one of my reasons. Like I should have like I thought about it. I should have kept it up, but I had my reasons for taking it down. So
and at the end of the day, I would say it's better. Like, there's a video where when I address him and some other people, it is still online, and like I said, I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it, because
Yeah.
to keep me on hold for 30 to for like 40 minutes, and then to kick me out 3 times, and then just because I typed in the chat I was kicked out, for him to say, "Oh, you're acting like a girl," and you have no discipline. I'm like, "Oh, you must be out of you must be out of your mind." So I had some get back for it, because it's extremely disrespectful to keep someone on hold for 40 minutes and then you kick the person out 3 times. And like I've said in the video that I've uploaded like yesterday, when he came on my platform, the dude actually, and you know what? Do you mind if I just play it, because it's not long, that exchange?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
So just so that people can have some visual. So, brothers and sisters, I mean, I can always show you better than I can tell you. So if I go to the videos, you know what? I will put agree, and there it is. So there will probably be some, I don't know. There's no advert. Okay. So just so that the people can see, I will share the title and the link in the chat. If you want to have a look later, they can. Do not have some plagiarism, because I will document that like a like someone that has a bachelor's in history. So the video is entitled "Bachelor's Degree in History. Can we see it?" In parentheses, Garfield came and maintained his statement. So I just want to show what happens when he comes in and what he says to me. And my response, I didn't trip. I didn't trip. Oh, there it is. Is it? Oh, Garfield.
Oh shit.
Okay, he doesn't have a webcam. I make an exception. All right.
Hey, Shaka. I'm not worried about nobody.
Welcome, Garfield. Feel free to speak.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, my ad forever or whatever name you go by. What is the purpose of you doing this show? Why did you do this show?
You're always asking what's the purpose. You made a statement publicly on Doggy Diamonds, so I'm just curious.
So why you do it today? Why you do it today? What made you do it today?
Well, there's no time limit. Whenever I have time, I address certain issues.
Oh,
and I remember you.
You heard somebody made a video, and that's why you run, because you want to be like a little gossiping Wendy Williams for the French people. Now, let me say this to you. If you do want to see my degree, you're not going to see it on the air. If you want to do a private StreamYard, I'll do it with you tonight. No big deal.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, the hard homonyms is just not necessary.
No.
Hold on, wait. Garfield, let me put this out. Let me put. I don't want to mute you.
The reason to do this is to.
Can I speak? Can I speak on my platform?
Let me finish what I'm saying.
No, but before you have the time to finish. Can I put one out? You already sent a shot towards me.
Hold on.
All right. Okay. I didn't want to do it.
Oh shit! Shaka kicked somebody.
The ad homonyms is not necessary. You know what I'm saying? You don't get comfortable. Reggie's 57 years old. You're not that old. Don't get comfortable. You don't know me like that. So please leave the ad homonyms aside, man. Okay? So I remember you back on the platform.
Can I give you the American reason why?
Wait. So I just wanted people to see. I've put the timer, and he was on hold for 20 seconds. People might say 22 seconds, just so I can leave one out. Because as soon as he started saying, "You want to be a gossiping Wendy Williams for the French people," and I'm like, I still let him finish. Then I want to put one out. And as everybody can see, even on my own platform, he will not even let me put one out. So I put him on hold for 20 seconds, put him back in. I was on his platform. I said, Asar fake. He put me out. So he can go and label people gossiping Wendy Williams. That's cool. But when I said Asar fake, he puts me out and say, oh, now he wants to violate the brother. Like, saying Asar fake is violating, but him saying gossiping Wendy Williams, that's cool. I mean, that's ridiculous to me, but that's the dude. But yeah, feel free, brother
Oh
Reggie.
man, he kick you off for that, just for that. That's
yeah.
Man,
And you know what? Now that you said that, I might as well show it so this way people can see the contrast.
Whoa.
So people can see the contrast. So I'm gonna put that.
Yeah, he made a big deal out of something little.
Yeah, but the guy, like, that's his latest video, by the way. That's 2 days ago. So first I'm gonna remove the volume, and then when I find the part, I put the volume back on. So I don't need to share the link because that's his latest video. For those who know, he's one of his two channels because he has a couple. So I'm looking for the part where, and I went there because he said he was commenting on the conversation with Wudjau on Smash Rock was, and he played up to the part where we were Wudjau and I were talking, and he said he did not understand a single thing that was said. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there and try to give some clarity. Now where's the part where I came on? Hold on, not there. Oh, it's towards the end. Towards the end, because he did what he used to do with Sarnetta videos. He just replays, because that's one of the way how he got so many subscribers. He used to play the whole live streams of Sarnetta. He did that for a long time. So you see here, I was waiting, till I was given the go ahead. And you see here, Asar fake wrote, they are all blackologists. But when the Egyptologists, who are mainly of European descent, translate Chem as black, they are not labeled blackologists, So there's a double standard. There's a different treatment between black folks and people of European descent, Nobody's labeling Herodotus or Champollion as blackologists when they describe the ancient Egyptians as black. But beside descriptions of people, once again, the Chem glyph, the I6 glyph, most Egyptologists in the world, they translate that as black. So I think okay. Okay.
$12, $15 worth of
I didn't ask you that. Are you on the team? Yes, sir. I know that.
Listen, whether they like, you can get stuff again, but I will.
Y'all heard that. All right,
that's what it really is. Okay, so what you?
I got Shaka Indu coming on. He violated me he trying to be junior chief X and violate me on his channel. He's on my panel right now. Should I let him speak or should I kick him out?
And honestly, I missed that he said he's trying to be chief X junior, and but I think I heard him saying he violated me or whatever. But he's using strong words, man. Violated me, like damn. But anyway, let's listen up. Now, first he asked Reggie for authorization. I mean, this guy is like a child that needs the guidance of his parent. But anyway,
listen, listen. You have your choice about the matter, and I have my choice.
Garfield, can I ask Reggie a question that deals with the topic? So we
hold on.
What you say, Rapport?
Hold on, bro. Let me get Shaka out the way. Come on, Shaka. What's up? What's on your mind?
Yeah, greetings to all. I want to say first of all that I want to salute Wudjau Irima'at because he came on my platform and we spoke for 4 hours and he was respectful all the way. So I want to salute him. And I was just earlier today. Now, there's a brother who left and he had the Black Panther image and his username was Asar. He talked about dealing with our social construct of race and trying to apply it to ancient time. And I respectfully disagree because the majority of Egyptologists in the world, they translate Chem as black. And I agree with what Reggie said. Those riparianites they're trying to remove the black or the blackness out of the cam term. So who's gonna say that Osahimo Fake wrote that those people are blackologists? Who's gonna
Oh man, I'm
Come
not
on,
doing that,
bro.
man. I'm
Come
not
on,
doing
whoa,
that. Wait.
Hey, can I go next?
man. Yeah, that's pathetic, man. Yeah,
and that was it. Just as soon as I saw him on Fake, that's it. I waited like I don't know, maybe 1 minute or two.
Hmm.
I was like, maybe he's gonna come to his senses and put me back, and he didn't. And I was like, okay, I bounced. It's a shame. I was about to finish my sentence and say, what about all those scholars that translate came as black? Nobody who's gonna say, I think I started saying who's gonna say that they are black colleges, but that's the point I wanted to make. So, hey,
yeah,
it's on him, it's on him, but we see the difference. He comes on my
yeah,
platform. He tells me, you want to be like a gossiping Wendy Williams. I didn't trip like him. And the only reason I put him on hold, it was not because he said that thing. It's because I was telling you, look, it's not necessary, and I'm trying to say something and try to respond. He's like, let me
yeah,
finish, let me, and everybody could see that. But now I'm talking about somebody else, and I make a word play with his name, and he kicks me out. So it's good for people to see that, but feel free to add on.
yes. Because what he said on your platform was 10 times worse than what you said about Asar M
Yeah,
Hotel.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
but
but birds of a feather flock together. So we will see if he did some plagiarism as well. But feel free to
yeah,
add on, brother.
yeah, but that goes to show how he is, man. We all every one of us who went on there got that
That
disrespect.
treatment,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
Garfield treatment, the
Yeah,
Garfield
yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Because I was telling some Puerto Rican cats one time too, uh, who are Israelites, and they was like, yeah, well, Garfield, he let you on your show, he giving you time, and I say, yeah, he always say that, man. Yeah, he gonna make it seem like he gonna be he gonna have some decorum, and he gonna let you go. No, that ain't it never happens that way. Yeah. So
I mean, if you agree with him, yes, but if
yeah,
you
yeah,
disagree with
yeah,
him, yeah.
yeah,
And that's something that's very important, and I take pride, and I think that people can witness that because I can make a claim, but I think that over the years people have witnessed that, even when the people disagree, and I usually say come on the platform whether you agree or disagree, and when they come, I let them speak as long as it's respectful, as long as there's no
yeah,
profanity, like, and I usually let people speak even when they disagree with me. It's very important that we are able to communicate and dialogue even in disagreement. Well, and I encourage everybody. I think we should do that more. Like you
yeah,
see the example with Ujao, 4 hours. We have opposite views, and I would say it was respectful. And I
yeah.
really appreciated the conversation.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, it was respectful, and but Garfield, man, he needs to show the sources, tell the truth about the sources, and stop lying to the people, okay? Because I mean, he's
But his sources. It's the
yeah,
Bible
yeah,
mainly.
yeah. It's like yeah, because even like Sarah Susan City,
Hmm.
when I actually got a chance to hear him out when he was going against the Metal Netter, and
Hmm.
but at the same time, I recognize that Sarah Susan said he really don't he don't study languages. He everything he teaches, he teaches in the English. He's
Hmm.
speaking the English. He
Hmm.
don't know the Greek. He don't know the Metal Netter, and and I actually heard him out, and like, but if you're not hip to scholarship and history, you'll actually fall for it. Because he sat up there and said, well, yeah, we need to stop, giving credit to the cracker, like or
For
to
the
John,
decipherment.
yeah,
Champollion. Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
the Champollion, yeah, but at the same time, it wasn't. You can't give credit. You can't give all the credit to Champollion. You got to give credit to the comedic priests put the Medunetter on the Rosetta Stone, you know,
Yes.
and the person who wrote the Demotic, you know, why you giving credit to Champollion and not giving credit to what's on the Rosetta Stone, you know, and like and these guys, man, like they don't know the language and they always using these terms that arise from the Greek language, you know, and that right there is, I see that as a dishonor and a violation, you know, and
But hold on, brother, please, just hold on. Curry, why would you write that? Like what the brother is talking about is very clear. I mean, I don't know. Do you know Corey from the Pseudo Killers? Do you have a history with him?
No, I never
Yeah.
heard of him.
I mean, why would you be antagonizing like that? Like the brother is speaking very clearly, you know. But anyway, you know, I don't know why, but you know, yeah, keep going, brother. I'm sorry about this.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, a lot of those guys from other platforms, man, you know, they just talk a bunch of smack and garbage, you know, and you know, like, you know, us, you know, brothers who's really educated, you know, we really don't want to associate with guys like that, you know,
I
because
mean, you know, I must say, I've heard him a few times, and except when he talks about Kemet, because he had, I don't even think if I have the excerpt, but I played. He probably had the harshest anti-Kemetic or anti-Kemet rant ever. He even said "f the language," you know, like you know, like I've highlighted. Usually, people will they might say, you know, "f him," "f his crew," but to say "f a language," like you know, so he said "f the Medunetta." So I'm
oh
wondering
man,
maybe because he's okay. Maybe because he saw the ankh that you have around your neck. That's one of the reasons why he wrote that. You know, but I get that. You know, he's just not a fan of Kemet. You know, I
yeah,
get that, but it's not a reason to just come and say, you know, what is the brother talking about when this is very clear. Like, you know, if you want to find a point of contention, you know, I think it should be something more elaborate, more precise. You know,
yeah,
but you know, that's just for the. Oh yeah, there it
yeah,
is. You see, he wrote. Yeah, it was the. So you know, I mean, you know, you don't even need to do that, Corey. You know, what I'm saying, you know, that's like. Can
yeah.
you picture me like if I see somebody with a shh, if I see somebody with a like a cross or with a star of David, and automatically I'm like, what is the guy talking about? If we start doing that, you know, we're not gonna, you know, we're not gonna go far, you know. But yeah, we'll keep
Oh
going, brother.
man.
Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys, man. You know, yeah, they have no appreciation because I say it's very important to learn the language, man. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Because you know, man. Because a lot of these guys, man, they teaching this history, and a lot of the history they teaching is coming from the English language.
Hmm.
Like even with the history of West Africa, you deal with Ghana, the Mali Empire, the Timbuktu. Like a lot of that early history is coming from the Arabic,
Hmm.
you know, and after that, you
Ibn
know,
Battuta
yeah, like
and
yeah, even like the records, the chronicles of Timbuktu, that's written in Arabic, you know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
What's gonna be? I heard myself. And yeah, keep going, brother. Sorry, it's just
yeah, but like even these terms like Wagadu and Sonike and like Tim like the records the chronicles at Timbuktu, the Tariq al Sudan, that stuff is
Mhm.
written in Arabic. It's in the Arabic language. It's
Mhm.
not African. You
But
know?
how about just to put some nuance. Um, I agree with you. It is very important to learn some languages when dealing
Yeah.
with ancient history, but it's not mandatory because, of course, we have translations by some scholars who are qualified. So, but it is definitely indeed helpful because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, uh, I think a fair bit of people know that. But um, when I see when I hear the brother earlier who was on Smash Rockwell's platform, and he said that those two guys who have clearly plagiarized, and he said that they are illustrious teachers. I'm thinking maybe he doesn't know. But if somebody is going to study even a field that is not history, but the field of theology, like Jewish history, for example, at a university, that is, like for some uh, masters and probably bachelors, you will be required to learn at least the Hebrew. Like people who study the Near Eastern study, not the Near Eastern study. That's history. That's not theology. You'll be required to study like Arabic, Hebrew. Like Egyptology, for example. Um, it's not the same in all schools, but at some schools they will require people to learn French and or German. You see, so and maybe Arabic as well. But well, you would definitely learn at all school if somebody studies Egyptology, the person will have to learn the hieroglyphic. That's a given. But on top of that,
Yeah.
not all schools once again, but some will require the students to learn another foreign language. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's something. See those scholars, and I don't want to be long-winded with that. Mais c'est pas possible. I don't
Yeah.
want to be
Go
too
ahead,
long
bro.
winded with that, but it's amazing. Some scholars, some PhDs, the amount of languages that they speak, like ancient languages and stuff like that. And then when we hear people who like, oh, Benito, just because that's, I'm like, you don't have no idea how much studying those guys did. Like Champollion, I don't worship him. Um, but the guy was skilled. He knew the Arabic. I think he knew the Hebrew. He knew the Coptic. You know, I mean, you have some guys like that who are very familiar with some ancient languages, and we have to respect that. This is a
Yeah.
skill that they have. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yeah, you can't put him in the same category as a like a white racist. Someone whose intention is to lie and and have no real knowledge about the area they studying. Yeah, so yeah, and that's why like using these learning the language, where these terms derive from. So like archaeology, people don't even know archaeology is a Greek word. Greek word. Both
Mm.
archeo, which derives from the word archo, which means old or ancient, and
Mm.
logi, or
Logi, yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a Greek word.
And you've given me an idea. Maybe if I put a percentage of Greek in the English language, maybe you will have some percentage, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 40 to 50%.
Yeah.
Um, oh well, I don't know that website, but here, how many Greek words are used in English? Here it says in typically every okay, that's everyday English word. It says about 5% of the words are directly borrowed from Greek. Okay, well, the thing is that um, a lot of words in the English language derive from the Latin, but those Latin words derive from the Greek.
Yes.
So I guess if maybe if I put
Yes.
what's this website here? I don't know that website. BritishCouncil.org. Do they give a percentage here? I don't know, but I agree with you. There's so many words. I mean, I'm kind of learning Greek, but not very
Yeah.
thoroughly, and I'm amazed the amount of words that we use on a daily basis that actually derive from Greek. You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
because I mean, from my understanding, the Greek also played a part in translating the Rosetta Stone as well. Um, you know, and you're like when yeah, and also too, you know, I'm still mastering the Greek language, you know, because there's, you know, there's a lot of words to, you know, for me to still learn, but you know, but when I'm done with that, you know, I'm still gonna, I still plan on, you know, taking your metal netter classes if you still be offering them, you know, but
Oh,
I'm just,
I'm still doing it.
yeah,
I have some
yeah,
people who take the classes, you know, and you know,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. But I'm just trying to get finished with that first, you know.
yeah.
Then I'm move on to the meta netter after that,
Mm.
you know, because you know I mean it is a privilege, you know, to learn the language, you know, because that way, if you want answers, you know,
Mhm.
you don't have to depend on the pseudo, you know, or the racist white translator, you know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
and
because
and you know, I agree so much with what you're saying because you know, Smash Rockwell. I think he's like me. He never had a teacher per se. Um, and he has a good knowledge and he's used to going to the text and finding out if there's some words that he's not familiar with. He would just, you know, look up the definition, and he has covered so much over the last few months, you know, and it's amazing, and I enjoy watching it, you know, because um, I have never heard before that Kemet might have been, or let's say Kemet you, or the term Kemet, that it might, and it's not established yet. It's not something, you know, that's been established, but there's a possibility that it was an ethnonym before it was a toponym, you know. So,
yeah,
and Nejaneb also stated that, you know, we have, I forgot which pyramid text it was, if that was from the pyramid text, but he stated several times, you know, about Kemetiu being found, and that is before we have the term Kemet. You see, so those things are very interesting, and those are not necessarily the things that we will hear scholars talk about because it's uh, leading us towards the term black. You see,
yeah,
because
yeah,
if some people want to argue that Kemet has something to do with um, irrigated land. You know, what's the other term that they use? There's another term that fertile or, you know, water. Now, if we have Kemet EU, now the EU will be like if you have the man and the woman, you know. Sometimes you
yeah.
have the bird that gives you the EU sound, so you have Kemet
Mm,
EU. So it will basically, some people might translate it the blacks because the root is Kem. So who's going to argue? Okay, we have Kem and we have people, so it means like fertile people or irrigate. I forgot how you say it in English, but irrigate. I forgot that word with irrigation, that smaller word. Who's going to
mm.
argue that it has something to do with water? Like we're not going to say those are water people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then it gets very interesting. And at the end of the day, I don't want to make any accusations about the scholars of today, but like I stated, you see this depiction here of Amenhotep the
yeah,
third. You know, we don't usually see it on book covers. We don't usually see it on articles from people in academia. And
yeah.
the tomb of
Mm,
Ramesses the third, when we go on the Theban mapping project, we don't see anything at all. So I'm like, you know, sometimes some things is a bit, um, I don't know if I should say inconvenient, but they just don't address it. And I have an
yeah,
idea why they don't address it, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah,
when we deal with the text, what can they say? They
yeah,
cannot say, what are they going to say? We are familiar with the language. We go to the texts are original. It's in the
mm,
original language. So what are they going to say? You know?
yeah. Just gonna have
So
to admit.
admit, and indeed
Yeah,
it's best not to comment because they know very
yeah,
well they're not going to say, oh, no, 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 it's not what it says. And they're not going to go as far as, you know, denying reality, denying the language, and denying the grammar rules, you know. Now we have some brothers
yeah,
who defy the laws of gravity and grammar rules, you know, but you know the scholars, they know better, they know better. And you
yeah,
talked about Champollion with, you know, him not being like a racist, and we have the quote, and many people don't know about this quote, and I've read it before. I've read the translation of the quote because of course it was in French initially, but when he went to those tombs, you know, at some point he said we see the Egyptians and the blacks maybe you use the term Negro because that was used back then. Now they don't really use it like that. But and he said we see the Egyptians and the Africans portrayed in the same manner. And in parentheses, he says we could not be otherwise. And when he talks about the Indo-Europeans, as some people would describe them, he describes them, with tattoos, and he says, real savages. That's what he says. And he says, I'm ashamed to say, but this is us. And then he says, but at least he shows how far we have gone.
Yeah.
So we hear so much about Champollion, but this passage here, that he wrote, we don't usually. Who's gonna say he's anti-white? Who's gonna say he's Afrocentric? Who's gonna say he's pro-black? The guy said not only he described the ancient Egyptian as black because he said that they are portrayed the same as the Africans, which could not be otherwise. But when he describes the Indo-Europeans with tattoos, he says real savages, and he even said, "I'm ashamed to say it." So he's been honest there. He said, "Hey, that's us." And it makes me think of that sketch that Richard Pryor. Many people have seen it when he's going with his team somewhere in Egypt, and they found a book like, oh, this is the book of life, and he's reading, oh, the black God, and so on. And then they leave, and it's like, okay, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Get the bulldozer. The black God and Osiris, Usir, was described as Kem Ur, the great black. So isn't that amazing? Because we really have, but they're gonna say the black is symbolic and blah 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 blah. So and now the people who follow the RRP Aryanites, they try to argue, oh, well, you try to use our current concept of race and apply it to this is what the language say. It's a color, period, and it is used like Smash has shown for the pupil of the eye, and we have many other attestations. So we should not deny what the text says, because when it's any other languages, they accept what the language say. But when it's ancient Egypt, for strange reason, oh well, if they use black, it must have meant. Come on now, but
but yeah, I know, because I mean, like even if it doesn't mean like literally black,
but it does. But keep going.
Yeah. But even if he's saying that, well, the ancient Egyptians are brown skin, dark brown skin, that still doesn't change the fact that the ancient Egyptians are closer to black than the Asiatics in the Tamahu
of course.
Yes, like, and we as African Americans, we're all different colors, but culturally and nationally, we see ourselves as black, because we see because the black represents the beginning, the source, and it's like, from the black you get the brown, you get the yellow, you get the red, but from white you only get white. White can't produce brown, yellow or red. White can only produce white. So it's like, we rather identify ourselves as black, just as in another way is saying that our melanin or our brown skin doesn't come from a suntan. It's original. It's original because we identify as black. We come from the continent. We see the source, we see the ancestors in the source as black. And I believe that that's the same way the ancient Egyptians saw it. And like, I mean, my God,
and brother, we have the text. And we have the visual evidence. We have the portrayals. Most of the portrayals that I have shown in my video, Black Ancient Egyptians Part 1 and Part 2. Well, most of these type of depictions, we don't see them. Just like the ones that I show when I go to museums in different countries. They like to show the ones from the late period. They like to show the one when the colors are faded away. They like to show the woman, because the convention was to use the yellow ochre, and they would like to show those who are like the lightest ever. But a lot of time they will show those from the late period. And as you're very familiar with, those guys who make videos, I mean, guys, men, women, those people who make video like ancient Egyptians are not black, and they just show so many statues, so many paintings. And this is the late period. This is the Greco-Roman period. I'm like, homie, who's gonna say the Aborigines of Australia, they are not melanated? Look at them, and I'm showing the current people who actually control the territory of Australia. But it is what it is. We understand, we sharpen our skills, and we try to advance the conversation. Now, lately, we have some people who's like they want to draw us 50 years back. Dr. Mario Beatty. Did you see the video when he addressed Asar's claims from ASCAC, Dr. Mario Beatty?
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
but I've actually played it. I've actually one of my latest video. He addresses it, and do you want me to play? Do you have a little bit of time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it, I mean, it's not that long, is it?
Well, I'm going to tell you how long it is, but it's not really long. It might be 10 minutes. I don't know if 10 minutes is okay with you or.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Where is it? There it is.
Just get an idea of what they said. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Y'all probably got about 15, 20 more minutes. So.
All right. So it starts here at minute 4, and it ends at. Oh, actually, it's a bit longer. I might have stopped and made commentaries.
Yeah, but I can.
Well, you know what?
I can always, I can always check it out later.
Yeah. But in the beginning, he's gonna state he feels like we're doing the Cairo symposium all over again. And that was important for him to state that. And that's really what I want people to hear. So I'm just gonna play. I'm not gonna play the whole 20 minutes. It's probably gonna be 5 to 10 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
So let me play that. And you know what? I'm gonna play. I'm gonna put the title and the link in the chat so people can check it out later. The title, as you will see, is Dr. Mario Beatty buried the riparian claim bypassing Coptic is not a historical comparative method. And we have Imhotep wrote so true, Shaka. So let me play it.
Title of my presentation is, we've spent a lot about what Kemet is. Title of my presentation is Why Reconceptualizing National Identity. Next slide. I'm going to dedicate this presentation to Sheikh Anta Diop. And next slide. And in the 1974 UNESCO Symposium, Sheikh Anta Diop actually gives credit to deciphering what the word Kemet means. He actually gives credit to another African. This other African, he says, is Susu Nsugan, was to compile this part of the present chapter. So I give credit to this brother too for this particular. Next slide. At the UNESCO conference, just a brief review. At the UNESCO conference, we'll read the proceedings of the unabridged volume of the General History of Africa, Volume 2. There is a debate, many debates, but there is a debate around the word Kemet. But the main protagonist was a brother from the Sudan, Abdel Gadir Abdallah. And Abdallah, I kind of feel like we're recreating the 1974 UNESCO conference. Because Abdallah...
So that's what I really wanted people to hear. Dr. Mario Beatty, PhD, said he kind of feel like we are recreating the 1974 UNESCO conference. And then I'm just gonna skip because people have the link. I want to find the part where Dr. Mario Beatty reads the French, and from the way he reads the French, I know he's familiar with French. It's not like the uh, anthropological linguists who, as I have shown yesterday, um, was reading some of Diop's work in French, and from the way he read it, he's just not familiar enough to make any translation, and he actually changed the meaning. I mean, sometimes you might make some mistakes, but when you change the meaning of a sentence, it is problematic. But anyway, let me just try to find that part so that people can hear it. It's kind of hold on. I don't want to be too long with this. Reste. Hold on. Va là-bas, va là-bas, va là-bas. Ouais, c'est bon. Va là-bas, va voir maman, va voir maman, va voir maman, va voir maman. Ok. Never mind. Never mind. I don't want to spend too long looking for it. But yeah, keep going. Feel free to add on, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's why, like I'm at a point too, man, where like I'm charging. I got a Patreon set up, and I'm charging for certain videos because, and the reason why I'm charging is because the disrespect is so high. And that's and another reason is that because what I put on Patreon is some of my best work. I'm gonna translate a lot of Greek text and tell the truth about what's being said. And hopefully in the future I can come out with some books. And really get the truth out. But yeah, because like by me studying this, like I can tell you, man, like what the mainstream is, what's being said in the mainstream and your average history books, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Like people don't even know. Like when it comes to Ethiopia, like the ancient Greeks, when they describe Ethiopia, they had no knowledge of the ancient Kush you see in Sudan today. No description. We don't get an accurate description of all those sites in Sudan, such as
But
the
did they
temple.
go that far?
Who are the Greeks?
The Greeks, yes.
Yeah. See. Here's the deal. Okay, like for instance, Strabo, the Greek geographer, his information derives from an expedition that was taken by the Greek pharaoh Ptolemy of Philadelphia's.
Mm-hmm.
And he took an expedition along the Red Sea. He didn't sail down the Nile.
Mm.
Yeah, like he made a journey along the Red Sea. And what Strabo did was he placed some of the places, some of the names that was actually on the Red Sea on the Nile River.
Mm-hmm.
So like when he sailed the Red Sea, he didn't know what was on the Nile River.
Mm-hmm.
Because like and that's why like you see places like Moreau and all that where they talk about Merowe and Moreau, like that's like the Moreau, the later Moreau that's mentioned by the Greek geographer Strabo. It's not the same Moreau that is mentioned by Herodotus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the Meroe of Strabo even said that it was founded. It was founded by the Persian king Cambyses. He said Meroe was, but you got these guys running around talking about Meroe, Kush, Kush is Meroe or Meroe was founded by indigenous Kushites. No, the actual Greek text says it was founded by a Persian king,
But
Cambyses.
they had indeed some a lot of hypotheses about the origin of certain land, and what you're saying is interesting because Herodotus in book 2 of his history, um, he states that the Ionians, if I'm not mistaken, um, separate the words in three parts. So you have I forgot if the term is it might not be Europe, but you have Asia and Libya is really like the African side, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of geographic location that we know today, but it's not what we think it is as understood by the Greeks, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, indeed. And like even like
as a matter of fact.
Herodotus Moreau was like 2 months far away, but the Moreau mentioned by Strabo was only like 10 days journey. He said like 500 miles south of Egypt. It wasn't that far, so it was a different Moreau. And Strabo said that Meroe was founded by Cambyses. He was founded by the Persian king Cambyses. Now Herodotus says nothing about that, but for these guys to sit up here and say that Meroe was founded by indigenous Kushites, no, that's not according to the to the original text. Because and like and like none of these Greek geographers they never gave an accurate description of what's south of the Nile River. We don't get it. Actually, we don't get a description of that of Jebel Barkal, the temple at Simne, all those temples, the temple
Yeah,
of Soleb.
and you know Herodotus, he said that he went to Thebes, but I think scholars believe that he did not go there because he would have described like at least the Karnak temple. And but I'm actually reading it, you know, and I'm studying, so I'm reading commentaries about what the scholars say. So yes, yeah, I follow you on that.
Yeah, yeah. He actually does mentions, but he calls it the temple of Zeus. Yeah, yeah, and like he doesn't give a description on it, but yeah, but like when it comes to like what we see in Sudan today, because we got a temple of Ramesses there at Biet El Wali, all those Egyptian temples in Sudan, and the ancient Greek geographers make no mention of them. We don't get the first time we get a mention in the books or an accurate description of what's in Sudan today. It's not until the 1700s and 1800s. With this guy named this European traveler who goes by the name of George Waddington. And there's some other travelers as well. Forgot the other. Yeah, but it's not until the like the 1700s and 1800s where we get an accurate description of what's in Sudan today. Like the Greeks, they had no knowledge of all these Egyptian temples in Sudan. We don't get a mention of them from the Greeks. So it's like when they mention Ethiopia, it's like they skipped over a large like a large part of what's along the Nile River because
Yeah, they
like
just gave a name to a territory that they encountered or heard
yeah.
about, but and you know what you're saying makes me think of all the names that we know, like um uh Waset in Medunecher, Thebes in Greek, and Luxor in Arabic. So Uh, we have the names of the rulers. We know that we have the Greek version, like Amenophes. We have the Medo version, which is Imenhotep, that we call Amenhotep.
Yeah.
So even in pronunciation is different. So like you might have like three versions for names of people, and you might have, well, let's just like the example that I gave. You have three different appellations for name of places, because of the different languages. Like once again, the Medo, the Greek, the Arabic. So um, first, it is a challenge. It can seem very confusing, because I remember when I started studying ancient Egypt, or reading about ancient Egypt, I was like, man, all those dynasties, all
Yeah.
those rulers, all those names of places. But the more you read, the more, and you get more familiar, you understand, like the 18th dynasty is really one of the most famous, because that's where Akhenaten and all
Yeah.
that. So you started having some a bit of chronology, not a very precise one, because it's very large. But you have Nama 3000 or 3100 BC, and then you have the different intermediate period, the Hyksos period, and so on. But first, when I look back, it was quite a challenge, quite confusing to hear all those different
Yeah.
terms. But
Yeah.
then, but the beauty of it is that learning the language gives just so much
Yeah.
clarity, and a better understanding. So it's up to people. It's not
Yeah.
mandatory. People will be attracted to different fields, different areas. But I really
Yeah.
encourage people, if they feel like learning a language, even if it's a cuneiform writing, because it's a dead language as well. But a lot of ancient records were written with this cuneiform writing. So by all
Yeah.
means, sometimes people might deter you from learning things like that. But if your heart, if your mind, you know tells you to go for it, then why not? Because a foreign language is really a added value. I don't really know if you said that in English, but
Yeah.
it's a plus. It's a plus, and it can really be helpful. I mean, I speak a few languages, and I'm learning quite a fair bit of languages, and it is nice. The way you see the world, the way you hear about the cultures, and like I said many times, a language is the heart of a culture. So by
Yeah.
learning a language, you learn a lot about the I'm sorry, by learning the language, you learn a lot about different cultures. And the
Yeah.
same language, like the Arabic language, that will allow you to know about so many different cultures, because of course the root is the Arabian Peninsula.
Yeah.
And actually, well, I don't think we could say that Syria is part of the Arabian Peninsula, because some people argue that some ancestor of the Arabic language. I mean, if they argue, I have to double check. But the Syriac is mentioned a lot. But
Yeah.
now the widespread of the Arabic language, like for example, Africa, the most spoken language in Africa is actually Arabic.
Yeah.
The most
Yeah.
spoken, yeah, the most spoken African language is Swahili, and Swahili
Yeah.
is like some sort of hybrid, between Arabic and some Bantu languages. Now, of course, the reason why Arabic is the most spoken, uh, I would say that the Maghreb region in North Africa, where you have those Berbers, this white
Yeah.
skin, pale skin, Caucasian type of people, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, there's another place that I'm missing, I think, and you have Libya. I don't know if Libya can be described as part of the Maghreb, but you have all this area, and of course we have Egypt, and I think there are 80 million or something like that. So
Yeah.
this is one of the reasons, but there's many different African countries, populated by people of African descent, where they actually speak the Arabic language. So uh, yeah, it is spoken in the Levant as well. So
Yeah.
Lebanon,
Yeah.
Syria, Palestine. So you have North Africa, you have Inner Africa, you have many Asian countries. So, and besides the language, also the script itself, like the Urdu. Uh, uh, is written with the Arabic script, just like the Farsi, the language in Iran. One of
Yeah,
the language of
the
Iran is written
Persian,
with the
Persian. Yeah.
yeah, it's written with the Arabic script. Though it is with the Urdu, I think they've added some symbols for some particular sounds, and maybe they've done the same. Maybe they did some modification or some diacritical mark for the Farsi, but mainly they use the Arabic script. But anyway, let me not be too long-winded.
Yeah. Yeah, but like when I say these things to people, man, like they think I'm crazy, it's like, it's like they want me to lie. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna have to accept the truth for what it is, man, because like a lot of these guys, man, they have no idea what they talking about when it comes to Ethiopia. It's like, for instance, like you have this belief in the scholarly field that that in the 6th century BCE, the Napata was sacked by the Egyptians, and the Cushites fled to Meroe. No, that's a lie,
That
because
that that would be earlier than 600 BC, I think.
no, it's actually way later. Yeah,
Later?
because because they said that um, the Egyptian pharaoh Psammetichus II, they try to say that he sacked Napata, but when you read the text, uh, it actually says that he fought a battle with the Nubians at the border, at the northern border, in a place called Panubs, and he took them captive. But it says nothing about sacking the city of Napata.
I
And we
understand.
find, yeah, and we
Mm.
find out from the Greek geographer Strabo, which is in the 1st century AD,
Hmm.
that the Roman general named Gaius Petronius, he was the first person to sack the city of Napata. Napata was
Hmm.
still the capital of the Kushites, or the Ethiopians, even in the 1st century AD, and that's the first time when Napata was sacked. And they say that when they speak of Meroe, they say Meroe was founded by Cambyses, but we know that Napata was founded by Tutmos the Third.
Mm.
That's who's credit that's who is credit of being the founder of Napata. Because
And
that
and and I think I was thinking. Sorry to interrupt you. I think I was thinking about that time period, and I guess I was not precise when I interjected regarding Napata, because during that time period of Thutmosis, um, the territory of Egypt became larger. They took some part of Nubia, so the
yeah
Nubians, kind of went way, yeah, further down.
yeah
Well,
the place that Tutmos the Third conquered was Kerma.
yes.
Kerma. Yeah,
Mm.
Kerma. Yeah, but Kerma was a Cushite,
Hmm.
like a genuinely Cushite
Yeah.
territory.
Yes.
Yeah, and later on, after the Egyptians conquered Kush, they founded Napata. Yeah, so yeah, and that's yeah, like Kerma. Yeah, Kerma was yeah, it was conquered and destroyed by Tutmos the Third. I think, like, in that area near Buhin, what's called Buhin, near the Second Cataract, that was conquered by Sesostris, or Senusret the Third.
Yeah, Senusret,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, but Napata, yeah, they said Napata was founded by Tutmos. It was actually an Egyptian city. That's why you see the Temple of Amun there, and you see the mention of the mountain Jebel Barkal, which is what's called the sacred mountain of Amun. Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Brother, did you see that video I played? Pan African James recommended that video, and it's that scholar, that PhD, Tim Kendall, I think his name is Timothy Kendall, and
oh yeah,
I think he talked about that, about that. I forgot if it was Moses, but he talked about some Egyptian ruler that will go over there, and it would take like 2 months or so. And there's another thing I wanted to say. Well, it escaped me. It escaped me.
Yeah, Timothy Kendall. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of him. Yeah, I kind of I disagree with him on some things, because he's like he's trying to like trying to take away like the Egyptian identity of the 25th dynasty, which which is it's not right to do that. You gotta credit both the Egyptian and Kushite identity for the 25th dynasty, because if you're trying to say that these were genuinely Kushites, you're taken away from who their true ancestors are. And we know that they're like their names, everything about them is Egyptian.
But
And
some people argue that those Nubians were Egyptianized. That's what they say
yeah,
most of the time. Yes.
yeah. I wouldn't say that. I would say that they were that they were definitely partly Egyptian, like, because it makes no sense to say that the Egyptians came there and they never mixed with the Cushites. Come on, I mean, there was definitely some mixing going on. But they trying to make it seem as the Egyptians came there and they were just segregated from the Cushites, the 25th dynasty were descendants of these non-Egyptian Cushite. No, that makes no sense, because I mean we can clearly see a difference between the 25th dynasty and the people of Kerma. You see Kerma, all Cushite, no Egyptian written on it, but 25th dynasty got Egyptian written all over it.
Of course,
So
of course.
yeah. So I would say that it's fair to say that the 25th dynasty was both Egyptian and Cushite. Yeah, because they, I mean, they make that very clear in their steles, in their texts. Like really Cush is not even mentioned in in the 25th dynasty text. They give reverence to Napata, and they give reverence to Amun of Thebes. Because they see they see that some of their lineage and their bloodline goes back to to Thebes. Because they were known for making their pilgrimage or their journey to Thebes to participate in the feast of Apet. The
festival.
Yeah. The 25th dynasty kings were known for doing that, like Pianki, Tanut, Amun, Taharka. They all mention of going to Thebes and making reverence to the god Amun and participate in the feast of Apet. But we don't get nothing like that from the Kushite kings of Kerma. Because the Kushite kings of Kerma, they had no, there's no text of them mentioning Amun or anything. I mean, all the writings is coming from the Egyptians, and that's why I say, like, it's so I say it's safe to credit it, not say that they are, purely Egyptian or purely Kushite. We see both in the 25th dynasty, Egyptian and Kushite. But yeah, I say it's wrong to say that they were Egyptianized. I would say that they were actually a part Egyptian. And that's So when they say that they Egyptianized, I they like try to make it seem as if they were like purely Kushites and they had no Egyptian in them, but they just learned everything from the nah. Yeah, I disagree with that.
All right, then. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you make your closing remarks. I'm gonna wrap this up.
Oh
But
yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for calling in. I appreciate that. So feel free to make your closing remarks, brother.
Yes, but yeah, I just want to say, learn the language, find out the truth, because now I know that a lot as black people, we come from, we come out of slavery, we come out of oppression, and we always got to, we see the white scholars as the experts. That's why it's important to learn the language, so so we can become the experts and we
Yeah.
can, be the authorities,
Mm-hmm.
and tell the whole truth, and but some people they haven't, and that's why some people they fight against us, I mean
Yeah.
they want us to lie, they say no, this is what it is, I mean
They don't even like us wearing the ankh.
yeah exactly exactly, man, yeah, but I mean, but like, they have their opinion, but once I pop out those primary sources, and show them that text, they're gonna have to accept it, they have
Hmm.
to agree with it, but but yeah, yeah, but all I'm saying is, we like we have been lied to, man, for so long. And I know, like the East Africans, like the Sudanese or Somalians, they have a problem with what I'm saying, but I'm telling them, hey, you're gonna have to accept it. We don't need your approval. We got the approval from the ancient historians, and it's sad, like, where people just want to, they just want to live a lie, and they want to deny, the facts that's right in front of them when you present it to them, but but hey, we still doing our job by presenting, and but at the same time, you still have those out there who are, who have an open mind, and who are willing to hear you out and see what you got to say, and a lot of times you win them over,
Mm.
but yeah, but people, when I tell you this truth, don't, I mean, don't look at me crazy, but hey, but it is what it is, but yeah, but that's why, like, I'm I'm up in the corner, but I'm doing my job. I'm doing my
Mm.
job because, I mean, because what I'm doing is I'm going against the mainstream, and you're going to have a lot of opposition when you do that, because a lot of people, they just don't want to let go of what the mainstream is saying, and but yeah, it is what it is, man. People learn the language, know the truth, subscribe to brother Dr. Ma'at channel,
No,
subscribe to
no,
my
no,
channel.
not doctor, not doctor.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, brother, yeah,
Yeah.
brother Ma'at, yeah. Yeah. Donate, support us, man, because we getting this truth out. Like my videos, I'm telling you some truth you never heard before. That's why it sounds so strange to you. That's why it sounds so weird to you, because because I mean, it's the truth, because I mean, you're so used to living this lie, and when you hear the truth, it's like it shocks you. You can't accept it, but it is what it is, but yeah, brother, that's all I want to say. Learn the language, man, and and most importantly, be honest, man. Be honest. I mean, that's,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
very important. Very
yeah,
important.
be honest, man. Yeah,
It's not no problem saying, okay, I was wrong. You're not less than a man. And unfortunately, many people have a huge problem saying that they were wrong.
yeah,
Because and that's a shame. That's a shame because we have a few guys. I don't even need to name them. They are being dishonest, and it's not help. It's not working out for them. They don't look good. They don't look credible. But
yeah,
that's the way it is. That's the way it is. But hey,
yeah,
it's on them. They're doing this to themselves.
yeah. Indeed. I mean, that's why, I'm trying to put us back in the picture, because I mean, a lot of these 1700, 1800 racist scholars, they took us out the picture,
Mhm.
and that's why I say, people want to complain about, oh, that there's no why there are no Egyptian temples in West Africa, but at the same time, there are no Egyptian temples in the Sahara Desert that's close to Egypt. You know, and that's why I say, you know, it is not supposed to be, because the text clearly says that when these Egyptians who went to those areas, they became Ethiopians, they became Libyans, but the Egyptians were there, you know. So pretty much the truth is in the text. You're not going to find it in the monument or anything like that. You know, like we don't know the reason why they chose not to continue their Egyptian culture. You know, they had their reasons. You know, we was not there. You know, but we know that there was a migration, and there was a departure out of Egypt. You know, and that's and for whatever reason that they chose not to build temples in the Sahara Desert in that part. You know, that only they know that. We don't know that. You know, and that's like even the temples that's in the cargo oases, like the oasis that's close to Egypt. Those temples are dated to like the 26th dynasty, late. Like during the 18th dynasty, they didn't exist. But yet we find in the text in the 18th dynasty that that the oasis was a part of their territory or their boundary. But yet we see no temples there, you know. So that's why, you know, you have to read that and accept it for what it is, and you can say that they were there, but for whatever reason they never left any monuments, and only they knew that. You know, like even the Euphrates River, we find no Egyptian monuments over there, but they made it very clear that that they conquered the Euphrates River, you know, and they left like a tablet on the Euphrates River, but which is not discovered today. But but that's why I say, hey, just the truth is in the text. You know, just read the text, and regardless if you can't find any evidence or whatever, just accept the text for what it is. You know. But I don't want to be too long winded there. I can go all day, but I'm just people, just
now Pharaoh Misraim. That's the channel where you upload now, but you still have some previous videos, and that's Radio 1, just like your username, right? The previous channel, right?
Yeah.
The previous one, yeah. Okay, so Radio 1 and Pharaoh Misraim.
Yeah, Misraim. Yeah, Pharaoh Misraim. Yeah. Misraim is actually like the earliest mention of Misraim is from the Amarna tablets, which predates the Bible. Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
So in it's like you find Misri. That's where Misraim derives from. You know, that's the word that the Asiatics call the Egyptians. You know, so if you're wondering why I call myself Misraim, it's beyond the Bible.
It's not from the Bible. Yeah. I thought it was like the so-called Hebrew term, but at the end of the day, those languages in the Levant, like in ancient times, they are kind of related. I don't want to say closely related. I wouldn't be wrong in saying that, but the Hebrew term itself, should we call it Phoenician? Should we call it Canaanite script? But at the end of the day, Hebrew is accepted. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna close out, man. Just learn the language, man. Support us while we get this truth out. Show us love. Because I mean we're not playing, man. I mean, it's important. Like if you know the language, you can always correct somebody. Like if you say that Ethiopians were not in West Africa, well, what is Ethiopian? Well, you talking about the English word Ethiopian? Okay, when you deal with Ethiopians or Ethiopia, that they were in West Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, but you're using the English, so if your word is deriving from an English book, then I don't know what you're talking about. You know? Yeah, but if you're talking about the original Ethiopia or Egyptos, then I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but and that's why man, and that's why it's important that we educate our people, man, because yeah, I mean, like the way the future is going, man, like things are not looking good, man. People, we stuck in this Abrahamic faith, we stuck in the Bible, man, and it's like, and we're not progressing, man. It's like we gotta accept the truth, and because a lot of people, man, like they're moving on up and they're thriving, and we're still stuck in
We're
in
not
this
progressing.
in this Bible madness, man. It's like, and and it's giving us false hope, and when we deal with ancient Egypt in the Nile Valley, it's the truth, man. It's like it's real. That's more of a motivation to make you want to come up than rather than believe some Bible fairy tales. I mean, and not only that, it's the truth. So the people that's telling you that you're not Egyptian, or you're not this, you're not that, like they don't even know what the hell they is. It's like so as soon as you ask them, well, what are you? What is your source? 9 times out of 10 they're gonna tell you, they're gonna base their source off some 1800, 1900 English language, DNA, or and it's so easy to correct them and shut them up, man. But once you ask them those key questions where they can't answer, because first of all, they have no business trying to tell you who you are, if they're not if they have no knowledge in that field, and 9 times out of 10 the people who say that, they have no knowledge, and they don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, man, yeah, but man, this yeah, like we're like time's getting crazy, man, and yeah, and like we got these Hebrew Israelites, selling our people this lie, and that has nothing to do with our genealogy or anything like that. And they sit up there and use genealogy, and they don't even realize that that's a Greek word, and yeah, and yeah, but yes, support us, and we're doing our best. We up against a giant, a giant lie, a big lie, and we're doing our best to overthrow the lie, and yeah, and that's why I say it's important, and I'm sure soon, man, people gonna get the point, man. People gonna get the point, and accept the truth, because man, like we definitely we got to do something to come up in this world, because what's going on now, if this continues, it can only get worse. It can only get worse. Yeah. In because I mean, white supremacy, racism and white supremacy did a number on us. I mean, yeah, they lied about history, man. They they like, as someone who know the language, they took away our connection to the Nile Valley, and it's like and I believe and it seemed like they did it on purpose, man. I mean, it's sad, man. I mean, and like, and our people, they're still, they're still accepting it, and it's like, at the same time, they don't they really don't know who they are. Like, if I ask you to say, like, how can you prove ancient identity? How can you prove ethnicity? Okay, which is also a Greek word. It comes from a Greek word. How can you prove that? The only thing you go by is what your your white oppressor tells you, and it's like, and when I try to say something, like, they have a hard time believing me, or they want to act crazy, so it's like, I gotta, I mean, like, what do I got to do? I got to get all these degrees, or to get somebody to believe me. I mean,
But
but yeah,
unfortunately, at some level, um, a lot of black people don't believe what black people say, but
yeah,
they will believe what non-black people say way more easily without any request for credentials. So having credentials help. Now,
yeah,
that's with some black folks, of course, not all black folks. But when you are familiar with the language, yes, you can go straight to the primary text. So you don't
yeah,
need any middleman. You don't need any middleman.
yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway,
because
brother, yeah,
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 go
yeah.
ahead,
I'm
brother.
gonna close this out, man. Like, because like Egypt, a lot of our people fear Egypt because Egypt deals with power. I mean, Egypt, that's why they have a fear of it, because like, because with the Abrahamic faith, Christianity, we always marching, begging for justice, begging for loans and money, like, why beg for justice while you can be the justice system? Why beg for loans and money while you can, you can have control over that? That's what Egypt represents.
Mhm.
And it's all about power, and as a people who has been enslaved for so long, we deserve power. We deserve to be number one, because we have been on the bottom for so long, and we can't afford, to go down any lower. So yeah, but brother, that's all I want to say, man. Yeah, but I mean, people need to wake up, man, and know the truth, man, and know the, and accept the reality, man, because
Mm.
it is power that's going to make us rise. It's not no faith, no prayer, no false hope. I mean, none of that, man. I mean, it's power, man, and that's why you see in Washington D.C. you see those Egyptian monuments.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
in Rome, I mean, Rome has
yeah,
more obelisks than anywhere in the world.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
in Paris, Place de la Concorde.
yeah,
I mean, we can
yeah,
talk about
Paris.
all this, but our people,
Yeah.
because many of them, if not, well, most of them are Abrahamic. Oh, those are Masonic symbols. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and that goes to show you the importance of Egypt and Kemet. Because the people that have power over us, they're embracing it more than our people
Yeah.
are. And
Yeah.
yeah, mm,
All right. All right. Well,
yeah,
thanks a lot, brother.
yes,
Thanks a
yes.
lot.
Peace, brother. Yeah, yes, brother. It's
Peace.
been good, brother.
Yeah. Nice bill. Thank you for calling, brother.
Yes, yes, indeed, brother. Yeah. Peace out, brother. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Yeah, you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't get discouraged, man. Because you're doing the right thing, man. You're standing on my art. You're standing on
Thank you.
truth.
Thank you,
And
brother.
yeah, and you're calling out the lies and the frauds, for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, indeed, brother. Well,
Thank you,
peace
brother.
out, brother, and you
Peace.
you have a good day, brother.
Same to you, brother.
All right,
Thanks a lot.
all right, peace.
So, like the brother
Oh, sir.
said, we try to do our best to overthrow. Um. Um. Did he say falsehood? I think he used the term falsehood, but he said something to that to that effect. Doing our we trying to do our best to overthrow falsehood. Brothers and sisters, thank you for being there. Thank you for the comments. Remember to hit that like button. And really, after the video is up, uh, feel free to just leave a comment. You can type in HTTP, you can type in what's up, you can type in Waza, you can type in anything you like. You can put a smiley, anything that helps with the algorithm. All right. Um, stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm a bit tired, I'm sorry. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if I am allowed to, by the nature I will definitely holler back at you. If you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And if you want to learn the Medu nature, I'm giving classes. You have my email address in the description of the video. Dua.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Nature class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.